Hello, welcome. Welcome to another tutorial that I'm going to be making today. Today it's going to be focused on PikaOs, which is a gaming optimized focused Linux distribution that is based on Debian. And it's got a lot of things out of the box, and it has Wayland support. Not to mention there is a GNOME edition, KDE edition, and a Hyperland edition, as well as the NVIDIA counterparts. For this tutorial, we'll be using the KDE edition. And for ease of use, when you are looking for getting this installed, you could actually go to their website. Their website will end up recommending something like Balena Etcher, Fedora Media Writer. You could DD via terminal, Rufus if you're on Windows, or you can use GNOME Disk Writer. For the purpose of this tutorial, I have already installed PikaOs by using Fedora Media Writer. When you start up your computer, you will be given the option to go into your BIOS settings. When you're going into your BIOS settings, what you'll end up doing is you will end up F11, F8, F9, F10. You'll be clicking on one of them, or the delete key. The delete key usually works most of the time. So you click on that, and you choose your USB drive. And it should say something like PKD or PikaOs, or something similar to that, on a compatible USB drive. When you do plug it into your computer, after you have already started that up, you will then be greeted by the PikaOs live USB interface. It will then auto boot, and you will then be taken to PikaOs after your computer boots up. It's not going to show it right here because I'm currently waiting. You will then be greeted with that boot up screen. This is getting you into KDE via the live USB environment. Now, there we go. Alright, so now we're on the installation screen. You can install the distro to the system. You can use a PikaOs live environment. PikaOs uses KDE, and it will start out with an interface like this, but you can change it, which I'll show you later. So we're going to install the distro to the system. We're going to choose our language. It should already be pre-selected to English. You're going to accept the EULA. Very straightforward. The hobby distribution. Continue going forward. Your time zone, of course, you want to make sure that's actually accurate. Then we're going to select the disk. We're going to select the disk that has Windows installed, because fuck Windows. And continue to go forward, confirm and install PikaOs. So as you're waiting for the PikaOs installation to go by, there are a few things you should know. This Debian and Ubuntu are very similar, but they are not the same. They do have some things that work differently than others, but for the most part, they are based on each other. Or at least Ubuntu is based on Debian, and this is kind of cutting out the middleman and getting you straight to Debian. This is more of a Debian unstable, but that does not mean the distribution is not stable. The distribution is actually very stable. I run this on my gaming PC, and it's doing things just fine. So I would expect it to work just fine for just overall streaming, recording, getting things going. So we are going to find out today on that. Also, this is not only just a fork of Debian, it's also somewhat inspired by Nobara as well. This is a different distribution we will cover at a later date. So we're going to go ahead and reboot the system. Alright, so you'll be greeted with a bunch of icons. And it might have your previous EFI bootloaders. You can hit delete, you can hit enter to hide them if you want to just have your Linux OS showing if you wanted to, but that's just based on preference. However, it will take you directly to PikaOs once you do end up restarting that computer after the initial installation. When you are taken to this welcome screen, you're going to hit Let's Start. It's gonna then, if you are connected via Ethernet, that's fine. For right now, we're just gonna put this down as PC. Make sure you put your password in. It's going to reboot after the initial setup is done. Go ahead and put your password in. All right, here we are. So now we're on the initial installation steps. It's going to welcome you to PikaOs. You'll have setup steps. Now, this is very streamlined to let you start getting everything done. So if you hit launch, you're going to go ahead and update your system first. You're just going to let it update. You're going to let it update. Hit OK. You know, it's going to go ahead and go and download, update everything. Then it's going to prompt you to go ahead and update it again. Just continue to go ahead and get these updates done. That way your system is fully updated. So go ahead and accept it. They are really good at pushing out their updates. Then you'll be fully updated. Now, next, it's going to ask you to install media codecs. I always recommend installing these because it just makes sense to install them. So it's going to go ahead and launch it. Might take it a little bit, but go ahead and hit yes. Put your password in. It's going to go ahead and install your media codecs. You need these in case you want to watch videos or even listen to music, for example. You will definitely need these. As well as like hardware decoding, FFmpeg, being able to edit videos, as well as like mess with stuff in other programs. Okay, so then it will tell you it's completed. It's going to still prompt you to restart, but you don't immediately have to do that. Now, if you're running a NVIDIA driver, but you should. Now, it's going to give you a driver manager. Now, this is one of the latest additions to PikaOs, and it allows you to look at all the drivers that you would have for your system, as well as being able to update and install stuff. Like right now, we're currently on the latest stable version of Mesa. But you will be able to look at other drivers for this. So basically, you'll be able to see like what Ethernet drivers you have. You can take a look at that, see if there's anything else that are available with drivers for your system, which is really, really good. As well as like any sort of wireless controller drivers. So this is really, really good out of the box. Then you'll have a kernel manager that you can take a look at. So you're able to launch that. And we are on the latest stable version of the kernel. So the running version is 6.14. When it restarts, it'll probably go back to 6.14.4. That's fine. Then it will, you have a software manager as well. This is the Discover store. You definitely want to use this when you're installing some apps. We'll get to that in a minute. Also web apps. Now, those recommended additions, you will want these. You will want the majority of these, especially all the game utilities. You want all the game utilities. You will want, you can get the fonts if you want. You don't have to, but you can get them if you want to. Kdenlive and Krita, you can get those as well. LibreOffice Suite, if you really need something like a Windows alternative to that, you can get that as well. But for the purposes of this, we're going to get all the game utilities and we're going to get OBS. So go ahead and just install all the game utilities. So you're going to go ahead and install all these. That way you have like all your coverage as far as like game controllers go, because definitely you don't want to have any issues trying to even play games to begin with, because I'm assuming you're streaming, you're playing games, you're getting stuff done, doing that kind of thing. It kind of works, So after it's all installed, you can go ahead and you can optionally install these depending on your needs. However, for today, we're going to go ahead and grab OBS Studio. We're going to get it from the installer because it's providing it from you, and I'm assuming it's going to be the most recent version. Now, you can change the look and feel if you wanted to. You can troubleshoot issues. You can always open up their wiki. You can even join their Discord, which I highly recommend doing, as well as their subreddit. And if you want to support PikaOs, go to their Ko-Fi page. Go to their Weblate page. Go to their Gett. Support them. They do a wonderful job when it comes to a gaming distribution. That could also be used for streaming. and I do highly recommend it. It is like, in my opinion, it is the next step from Linux Mint as it stands right now. So we went ahead and got that installed. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. Now, I don't really like this personally, but you can use it. But if you were to right click, and you were to add or manage widgets, it will actually give you the option to manage these widgets. Now, I would prefer the application menu. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the application menu. Put it right here. You done with that? Exit edit mode. And then we will have our, we'll be able to pull up our stuff. This is more like a Windows 7 interface. The one on my computer I use is a little different. However, it's about the same. So, now you're already going to have something like bottles pre-installed. You're going to have stuff like, of course, your Firefox. You're going to have your OBS Studio. You should have Steam. You have Proton Plus, you'll have Luatris, you'll have that, you'll have this, you'll have this. You're going to want to click on Steam for now. It's going to install Steam. Because you want to install Steam first before you add it to the desktop, even though it already may have. So after this installs, what you're going to want to do is you're going to then want to sign into your Steam account. And then we're going to go ahead and get all of our programs you're going to be using for today. Then you'll be greeted with your QR code. Go ahead and scan it with your Steam card or sign in how you normally would. Once you are then loaded into Steam, what you're going to do is you're going to go into your library. Well, what you're going to do first is actually you're going to go to Settings. And you're going to go ahead and change your compatibility mode. You're going to enable that. You're going to hit Restart, and it's going to restart Steam. And you're going to get that. You're going to download it. Mine will take a little bit longer because I do have the DLC. We're going to go ahead and install it. Go ahead and install it. Accept. Well, that's installing. Let's go ahead and click on Proton Plus on what came with PikaOs. We're going to click on GE Proton. We're going to grab the latest GE Proton. Really the only one you really need at the moment, unless there's something super specific. That's going to go ahead and download. So you have then downloaded that, and it's going to go ahead and download VTube Studio. So while we're getting that program, let's go ahead and get a few more programs for anybody who decides to VTube at least, to start them out. So let's go ahead and grab VSeeFace. We're going to go ahead and download it. That's going to go ahead and download. We're also going to go ahead and grab VTube. I may have spelled it wrong. Don't worry about that. You can support them if you want. Go ahead and grab the latest Linux version. And we'll go ahead and hold on to those for now. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to FlatHub. And we're going to go and grab Face Tracker. You will need this for both VTube Studio, and you will need it for VSeeFace. Go ahead and open your terminal and paste it that you have right here. And you will see it show up in your system shortly. So then you'll have something called Face Tracker that you can look up. You can add that to your desktop. Now, what you're going to want to do now is you're going to go to My Guide. So you'll be going to My Guide, the Linux Guide of VTubing, and you will be, of course, reading this. Alternatively, you can go to the wiki that is being... For now, we're going to be doing this. So there are prerequisites. You do have the option of using multiple programs. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to go ahead and go to the guide, and we see where VTube Studio is at. We already have Face Tracker. But now we have to go to the ip.txt file, because we will be needing that for VTube Studio in order for it to actually capture our face. Go ahead and boot up OBS to see if game capture is pre-installed. If that is, that means I might be able to skip a step, but we will see. Then go ahead and open up OBS Studio. It will ask you if you're going to be wanting to sign in. It'll tell you what your preferences are as far as recording stuff. You can choose your platform here. You can, of course, sign into your account or use your stream key. For the purposes of this video, I won't be doing that. Let me click on this. It looks like game capture is already pre-installed. Now we will see if this will work. So what I will do is I'll go ahead and load up Face Tracker. Go ahead and grab my camera settings, make sure these are all looking good. We're going to go ahead and activate that and leave that on the side. Now we're going to go to Steam, and we're actually going to restart Steam, because I need to make sure we use the GE Proton. Since this has game capture already pre-installed on this OS specifically, we may not have to do the build steps for this just yet, but I'm not entirely certain yet. However, if you do need to capture it, you will need to use OBS game capture command %. You will need this in your launch options. So we're going to go ahead and relaunch Steam. Click on library. If you don't have it already, search VTube Studio. Go ahead and click on the cog where it says manage. Click on properties. In the launch options, go ahead and Control V this, or you can just paste it. Compatibility, force this to be the latest Proton, GE Proton. Now we're going to click on installed file. So we're going to go hit click on browse, VTube Studio data, streaming assets, and we're going to keep this folder open. We're also going to go ahead and open up a new folder by right clicking and clicking on home. Then we're going to go to our downloads folder. It'll be right here. Let's go ahead and extract this file here. And while we're at it, since we're already here, let's go ahead and extract these as well. This should give you every program that you really need for VTubing in general, at least to start out with. You will then take the ip.txt file and you will take this and drag it over to the other window. You'll either move it here, copy it there, or you will copy it and then you'll paste it. Now, since this is in here, you will then be able to start VTubing. So let's go ahead and click on launch on VTube Studio. It's going to go ahead and download the content that you need if you have the DLC, as well as being able to install some other things that might be required by the program. So we'll go ahead and leave this going for now. Now it's going to say the service for the unregistered filter mapper is going to show up. You can go ahead and click OK, because you can actually just ignore these. They don't matter. They do not matter. At least as of right now. It will then launch VTube Studio for you. Now, there are a few things you'll have to do ahead of time once this is actually loaded up. So VTube Studio is loading on this computer, which is good. So we're now in VTube Studio. Personally, I like to use in windowed mode. You can go ahead and click on some of the stuff. It will be responsive enough. So go ahead and do that. It will then take you out of that. I like to do that and then have the full screen windowed. Of course, you can do that. So now you are in VTube Studio. What you're going to do is you're going to click on the settings or the cog. You're going to click on this and you're going to turn the camera on. It will then allow you to see, the stuff you have to do. Go ahead and hit collaborate if you have to. All right, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So we have that. It should then take you to... You can go ahead and exit this. Now you can go ahead and load up one of the models. If you have your own model, use that one. We'll be using this cat for now. Hello. I think I need to have the camera more pointed towards me. All right, there we go. Of course, it does depend on the camera you're using, but you can go ahead and collaborate it, and then it will work better. See, after you collaborated it, look how better this looks. Yeah, but it's basically that's what it is. It's pretty good stuff. You can, of course, you know, collaborate all the stuff down here as well. But now we are in VTube Studio with the VTuber model. So we're gonna go ahead and click on color picker, and you're gonna go ahead and change that to black, transparent, and capture. Now we're gonna check to see if this distribution offers game capture. So we're gonna go ahead and click here, click on game capture. Click OK, and it does. So out of the box, this offers the game capture you need for VTubing. So do I recommend this distribution for VTubing? 100% I do. If you're going to start out on Linux, you can either use Linux Mint and you can go through all that, or you can take an easier route and go through this and click, you know, and use PikaOs. PikaOs is a Debian distribution, but a lot of the things were kind of handed to you to make things easier. So now you can VTube a lot easier on this distribution, considering that the steps for this is now you're using the terminal less. We only use the terminal once throughout this entire thing, and we're already here. If you wanted to capture your desktop, I believe you can use display capture. Yeah. Then you can capture your display. This. Oh, you can just capture your display. So if you want to do that, you can do that, and of course, you know, you got that going on. You can allow transparency. Have it capture VTube Studio. Click OK, and now there you go. It is now transparent. It offers it out of the gate, which is really good. So holy shit. PikaOs is probably going to be one of the better distributions if it continues to be supported. Because holy crap, like when you're offering stuff out of the box, like not only are you offering good game capture methods out of the box, you're also handing us multiple things right out the gate as well as things that people would normally use. Like bottles, heroic for your GOG games, your Epic games, your Amazon games, Luatris for every other PC game that's not natively on Linux. As well as not natively on Steam or GOG, depending on what you're doing, and even some ROM hacks. You also have Proton Plus, which gives you a lot of things. So this distribution is doing really good. And I think, based on that, if I were to go ahead and close VTube Studio and start up VSeeFace, be able to get the same effect. So let's go ahead and try that. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. Now, you can use Luatris, you can use bottles. However, the easier method is to just add it to Steam. So we're going to add a non-Steam game, browse. We're going to go ahead and go to our home folder, and we're going to click on downloads. Let's try, we're going to do VSeeFace for this one. Hit open. Add selected programs. Now we're going to go ahead and change the compatibility tool. We're going to go to compatibility, Proton 27, play, and then it will launch VSeeFace. And we're going to go ahead and launch VSeeFace before we put the command arguments in, because I just wanted to see if it worked. But ideally, you can change the arguments to be what it needs to be. So we're going to go ahead and do this. It's going to take you through the tutorial. It will let you get everything set up. Of course, there will be a default avatar. Actually, I could probably skip all this. But yeah, there will be a default avatar as well. For the camera, you want to choose your open VSeeFace tracking. Your microphone can be whatever it can be. Then you'll see your ports. The ports will be the same. So let's go ahead and close this out for now, and so we can actually get it captured into that. So we're going to click on that, click on properties. launch options. We're going to paste these launch options here, which is OBS-game capture percent command percent. Click on the X, click on play again. Click on start. And then here we go. So since face tracker was already activated, it's going to also still capture this as well because it's doing everything correctly. So since we have this here, you can actually go to OBS Studio, click on game capture, click on VSeeFace or any window, and click OK. Because right now it's transparent, but it was transparent before. And now we have a 3D model, mind the frame rate, 3D model in OBS. Of course, it's not mirroring my movement, but that's besides the point. So now we're going to move on to PNG tubing, which is probably the easiest thing you can do on anything, really. So we don't even need game capture for this. We don't even need game capture. For this is actually a native thing. I don't know why I clicked on that. This is actually a native thing. So we go to Home, go to Downloads, VTube Mini. Go ahead and double click on that, hit Execute, and it will take you directly to VTube Mini. Now, this is an application that's on Linux that allows you to PNG tube. The only caveat to this is it only uses PNGs. For some reason, it's screaming at me, but I changed the microphone to that. There we go. So, got that, right? And we can go to the OBS, and now, since this is on Wayland, I think, let me double check. Let's just double check to see if we're on Wayland, at least. It should be on Wayland by default, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm on Xorg. So I'll show you what it is on Wayland as well. But on this one, if you're on Xorg, you want to go ahead and click on window capture. And you want to change your window to VTube Mini. Then you can go ahead and click on filters. Then you can click on chroma key, hit OK, and now you have a transparent thing you can use for VTubing. For PNG tubing at least. Now let's go ahead and shift gears and change over to Wayland. Initially I thought I was on Wayland, but I'm pretty certain this will work just the same. So let me go ahead and log off. We have everything else pulled up. So let's go ahead and pull up OBS Studio again. This is what it's going to look like in Wayland if you're using the Wayland compositor over the Xorg one. So we're going to go ahead and bring up game capture again. Hit click OK on that. Let's go ahead and go to Steam. Once we're in Steam on Wayland, we're going to go ahead and click on VTube Studio. And assuming you've already done all this to have this set up as the game capture command percent in your compatibility tool set, go ahead and click on launch. And it's going to take you to VTube Studio. Let's go ahead and open up Face Tracker. Go and activate it. And since I didn't auto start the VTube camera, we're going to turn the camera on. We're going to go and click on auto start, camera on, click collaborate. And now we are in VTube Studio on Wayland. If I were to click on this, it's going to already have this window open because we already opened the game capture because it decided to choose the window that we're capturing. If you want to clean things up, go ahead and take the cursor off. And now we still have this in Linux on Wayland as well. Now, let's go ahead and open up VSeeFace now. We're going to do the same thing. Go ahead and close out VTube Studio. We're going to keep Face Tracker open. Go ahead and launch VSeeFace now. Now, assuming you chose your model or you're using the default one, of course, it's going to show this one. We're going to go ahead and mirror the motion for now, but it will still show this. Let's go ahead and go to this, game capture. Click on VSeeFace, and now we have VSeeFace showing up on Wayland through game capture. It's the same thing as if you're doing it on Xorg, at least for these two programs. Now let's go ahead and do something a little different with the third program for PNG tubers. So go ahead and locate your downloads folder or where you ended up putting VideoTube Mini. Go ahead and launch it, execute. Of course, VideoTube Mini is going to launch. Now, when you are using something on Wayland, you're going to go ahead and screen capture it. Click OK. And you're going to choose the screen that you're going to do. So on Wayland, there's a difference. So Wayland with screen capture also has window capture. And this is the method that you're going to be using if you are on a Wayland system. On an Xorg, you could still use the straight window capture method. And I think for now, you can still do it on Wayland through Wayland. But eventually, it's going to be depreciated from OBS if you are on Wayland. So you're going to be choosing the screen capture method, which is the same thing, spiritually speaking, as far as window capture. That is the main difference between both of these. That way you're able to get game capture working properly. So you're going to go ahead and click on Windows, and you're going to click on VideoTube Mini. And now you have VideoTube Mini here. So let's go ahead and click on Filters, Chroma Key. We are now getting the same effect as if we were going on Xorg on Wayland. And that is one of the main differences. And honestly speaking, screen capture probably is a better method of capturing certain things because it's not using the X compositor, it's using Pipewire, which is really weird, but it still works. So that is screen capture. And screen capture, I believe, also can double up for Wayland capture because I don't think display capture works. We'll see. Yeah, display capture does not work on Xorg. If you try to use display capture on Xorg, if you try to use display capture on Wayland, it's not going to work. So it will not work on Wayland because it doesn't exist on Wayland. Display capture was replaced with screen capture. Because if you were to make this your display, you could then choose your screens. So if we're choosing the laptop screen, the same thing. And then we can kind of just move this in front of it, and now we have our display as well. Now granted, the this thing is kind of like, a little bit more transparent than it should be, but that's because it's mainly a green pipe, so that's just how it is. But you can always change the filter. You can kind of make it less, you can kind of just fix that just by sliding a thing over. So it's pretty good. But yeah, this is your main way of doing display capture. You have to use screen capture because screen capture is display capture and window capture, both in the same thing. Because it shows you your full workspace. You can open your selector menu. You can change it to whatever you want. You can change it to a specific window if you want. I believe if you had the program open, you can also close out OBS and reopen it. Or OBS. And it will still show the same screen capture that you had on there as far as like that window. Because display capture and window capture doesn't really work all that well. Though it might prompt you to reselect that. So you may have to reselect, So yeah, you basically have to work with it. But move these. But yeah, you'll be basically given a lot of these tools, and they're pretty good. So it's really good, as far as like window capture on Xorg or display capture, on Wayland, or basically how it works with screen capture. That is the main difference on that. And with PikaOs, a lot of this stuff has became more, it's more of a streamlined experience, because you're able to get everything going a lot quicker than what you normally would if you were to like use something like Nobara, for example. Because Nobara still gets you kind of ahead of the game on a few things, but it's not really as quick, I would say. I'm still going to cover Nobara at some point, But as far as PikaOs is concerned, it still works out pretty well. But yeah, this was a very easy experience to get things going. As far as, you know, getting this up and running. Now, you do have the option of running your programs through bottles. You have the options of running your programs through Heroic if you wanted to, or even Luatris. The easiest way to get some of these VTubing programs to work if they are Windows-based is to run them through Steam. It is the easiest way of doing it, but you can still do it through Luatris and through bottles. That's good. Other than that, yeah, thank you for watching the tutorial. I really do appreciate everybody who decided to show up and to decide to watch the tutorial. And I will catch you later. Bye-bye.